Have you ever felt like you're adrift in a vast, overwhelming ocean, but to everyone else you're standing on solid ground? You start your day, and before your feet even hit the floor, your phone is humming with updates, the endless to-do lists, the constant stream of bad news, the demands of a world that never seems to slow down. You try to find comfort in a simple cup of coffee, but it does little to calm the churning storm in your mind. This invisible weight is real, and we call it anxiety. It's woven into the fabric of modern life. The fear of not being enough, the pressure to always be on, and the quiet dread that something is just around the corner. We live in an age of unprecedented convenience. Food at our fingertips, self-driving cars, instant answers. Yet we are more unsettled, more tired, and more anxious than ever before. Why? This question isn't new. Over 2 millennia ago, a young prince named Siddhartha Gautama left his life of luxury to find an answer to human suffering. He saw aging, sickness, and death and sought a way to find true peace. What he discovered became the foundation of Buddhism, and at its core, a radical idea. Your distress doesn't come from the world around you, but from the way your mind reacts to it. The anxiety you feel isn't caused by your job or relationships. It's born from your mind's grasping for what it wants and its aversion to what it doesn't. There is a way out of this cycle, and one of the most powerful tools is meditation. But can simply sitting still truly ease the relentless pressure of modern life? Can it mend the unseen burdens of anxiety? In this series, we will explore this question through the lens of both ancient wisdom and contemporary science, sharing real stories and practical techniques you can start using today. The root of our unease. Why do two people facing the same hardship, a traffic jam, a career setback, a broken heart, react so differently? One person might unravel while the other remains centered. The Buddha offered an explanation that begins with understanding the mind itself. He used the term dukkha to describe the human condition, a term often translated as suffering, but which more accurately means dissatisfaction. It's that persistent feeling that something is missing, that life should be different, or the desperate urge to hold on to things that are inevitably changing. Sound familiar? The anxiety that gnaws at us, tightens our chest, and clouds our judgment is a modern symptom of this ancient problem. According to the Buddha, dukkha is fueled by 3 core mental poisons. Craving, tanha, the insatiable desire for more success, more approval, more security. It's the voice that says, "I'll be happy once I have." But the finish line always moves. Aversion, dosha, the desperate need to push away what we don't like, pain, discomfort, uncertainty. By fighting against life's inevitable challenges, we only amplify our stress. Delusion, moha, the fundamental misunderstanding of reality. We believe things are permanent when they are not, and we see ourselves as separate from the world, when in truth we are all interconnected. These 3 mental habits fuel the cycle of anxiety. When we're anxious, we latch onto a fearful thought, and our mind, like dry leaves catching fire, feeds it until we're engulfed in a spiral of worry. The good news is that by recognizing this pattern, we can break it. You can't stop the world from being chaotic, but you can learn to find your own inner stability. There's a beautiful metaphor that says, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." The waves are life, and the surfing is mindfulness, the practice of observing your cravings, aversions, and delusions without being swept away by them. It's about shifting from being a prisoner of your mind to becoming a calm observer of its processes. As you untangle these ancient knots, the invisible weight begins to lift, not because life has become easier, but because your mind has become wiser. Beyond relaxation, cultivating the mind. When we hear the word meditation, our minds often conjure an image of a person sitting cross-legged on a yoga mat, eyes closed, surrounded by an aura of tranquility. While this image captures a small aspect of the practice, it is only a fraction of the broader picture. In Buddhism, the word for meditation is bhavana, which translates to mental cultivation. It's the art of training your mind, much like taming a wild horse, not through force or domination, but with gentle, patient, and consistent care. This process isn't about getting rid of the mind's natural tendencies, but about creating a harmony with them so you can move through life with more clarity and peace. Your mind is not your enemy. It is simply untamed, free to wander, to be pulled by every whim and impulse. Left unchecked, it seeks pleasure and avoids discomfort. This constant pursuit is the root of much of our anxiety. It's a wild horse that gallops without direction, pulled by its desires and fears. But when you learn to sit with your mind, when you allow it to express itself without judgment, you can begin to see it for what it truly is, untamed but not bad, wild but not wrong. The process of sitting with your mind, watching its movements without becoming attached, is where the magic of meditation lies. To help visualize this, think of a muddy river after a storm. The water is chaotic, the silt swirling in all directions. But if you leave the river undisturbed, the silt gradually settles, and the water becomes clear. This is the true essence of meditation. It's not merely a temporary escape from anxiety or stress, but an ongoing process of allowing the mind's turbulence to settle. With patience, we clear away the mental fog, and for the first time, we can see our thoughts, our emotions, and our inner world clearly, just as the water clears after the storm. The Buddha taught many forms of meditation, each with its own purpose. Some involve simply observing the breath as it enters and leaves the body. Others encourage cultivating loving kindness towards yourself and others, which transforms negative emotions into compassion. What matters most, however, is not the position you sit in, nor the stillness you manage to achieve, but the quality of your attention. Can you stay present with what is happening right now, without grasping for something more pleasurable or pushing away something difficult? Can you simply observe your thoughts and feelings without becoming entangled in them, allowing them to arise and pass naturally? If you can do this even for a moment, you are already meditating. With consistent practice, these moments of pure presence begin to lengthen. Over time, you develop the ability to notice when anxiety arises before it takes root. You can catch the craving before it becomes an obsession, or the aversion before it turns into anger. You begin to recognize that not every thought or feeling is the truth. Many are fleeting, many are exaggerated, many are conditioned by past experiences. This realization is incredibly freeing. It's like realizing that the stormy river was only temporary, that the clear water has always been there, waiting for you to notice. There's an old Zen saying, "You should sit in meditation for 20 minutes a day unless you are too busy. Then you should sit for an hour." The more we feel pressed for time, the more we need to make space for this quiet practice. It is in this stillness, away from the constant noise and demands of the world, that we find the clarity to return to ourselves. When everything outside is chaotic, it is the time we spend with ourselves that helps us find the peace we have been searching for. It's easy to think that peace is something we must find, like a treasure hidden somewhere in the world. But the truth is, peace isn't something you need to go looking for. It's already there, beneath the surface of the noise and distraction. Meditation allows you to uncover it, layer by layer, until you realize it's been with you all along. Beneath your thoughts, beneath your worries, beneath your desires, there is a quiet, undisturbed peace that simply needs to be uncovered. With regular practice, this uncovering process becomes easier, and you begin to carry the stillness with you into the world. You may find that your reactions to life's challenges shift, becoming more grounded and less reactive. The next time you feel the pull of anxiety, the urge to rush, or the instinct to fight against discomfort, you may find that you can pause, take a breath, and return to the quiet space within. This is the gift of meditation, not just a temporary relief, but a deeper transformation that allows you to be more present, more awake, and more at peace in your everyday life. The wild horse of your mind becomes more gentle, more manageable, and less likely to run off in a panic. Instead, you can ride with it, calmly, through the ups and downs of life. And so, in the practice of meditation, we learn that the mind is not something to be feared or controlled. Instead, it's something to be understood and cultivated, much like a garden. With the right care, patience, and attention, it can bloom into something beautiful. Meditation is a path back to the simplicity and peace that is inherent in each of us. It's not about escaping life, but learning to live it fully without the distractions of the mind. The more you practice, the clearer your inner landscape becomes and the more peace you uncover. If this message resonates with you, and you're seeking more moments of peace and insight, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for daily reflections rooted in ancient wisdom and modern clarity. The science of stillness. While ancient wisdom provides the why behind meditation, modern science has been tirelessly working to prove the how. For centuries, people have been practicing meditation as a way to find inner peace, reduce stress, and cultivate mindfulness. But in recent decades, researchers have brought meditation into scientific labs to better understand the effects it has on the human mind and body. The results of these studies are groundbreaking, showing that meditation does much more than provide temporary relief. It has the power to reshape the brain and change the way we respond to stress and anxiety. The answer from modern science is clear. Meditation works, and its benefits are far-reaching. Using advanced tools like fMRI, functional magnetic resonance imaging scans, scientists have discovered that consistent meditation physically alters the brain's structure. These tools allow researchers to see what happens in the brain when a person practices meditation, revealing how it strengthens certain areas of the brain while calming others. Studies from respected institutions, such as Harvard Medical School, have shown that just 8 weeks of mindfulness practice can lead to significant physical changes in the brain. One of the most remarkable discoveries is that meditation can actually shrink the amygdala, the brain's alarm system. The amygdala is responsible for triggering our fight-or-flight response, which helps us react to danger. However, when it's overactive, as it often is in today's fast-paced, high-stress world, the amygdala keeps us on edge and prone to anxiety. By regularly practicing meditation, we can calm this alarm system, helping the mind respond with greater awareness and presence rather than reacting automatically with fear. Instead of being constantly on alert, the brain learns to approach situations more calmly, allowing us to face challenges without the overwhelming weight of anxiety. It's like switching off a loud siren that's been blaring in the background of your life. This is not just a psychological benefit, but a physical one as the brain becomes rewired to experience less fear and more peace. At the same time, meditation also strengthens the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain responsible for higher-order functions like rational thinking, emotional regulation, decision-making, and self-awareness. This area of the brain helps us think clearly, make thoughtful choices, and control our impulses. Think of it like upgrading your mental operating system. When the prefrontal cortex is strong, you have the ability to choose a wiser response to life's challenges instead of reacting impulsively or emotionally. This kind of brain training doesn't require years of practice either. Many studies have shown that even short periods of mindfulness practice, just a few weeks, can lead to significant drops in anxiety and improvements in focus and emotional resilience. The benefits are both immediate and long-term, but the effects of meditation aren't limited to the brain. Meditation also has a profound impact on the body. One of the most notable benefits is its ability to lower levels of cortisol, the hormone responsible for stress. Chronic stress leads to an overproduction of cortisol, which in turn causes inflammation and can contribute to a wide range of chronic illnesses, from heart disease to autoimmune disorders. By lowering cortisol levels, meditation helps reduce inflammation and protect against these diseases. This is why meditation is often recommended as part of a healthy lifestyle, not just for mental clarity, but for physical well-being as well. Another benefit meditation offers is improved heart rate variability, HRV, a key indicator of your body's ability to handle stress. HRV measures the variation in time between heartbeats, and a high HRV is associated with a more resilient, flexible response to stress. When you practice meditation, your HRV increases, which means your body becomes better at switching between states of high stress and relaxation. Meditation shifts your nervous system from the fight-or-flight state, where your body is primed for action, but often at the expense of your well-being, into the rest and digest state, where your body can heal, restore energy, and process emotions in a calm environment. Perhaps one of the most accessible aspects of meditation is that it doesn't require a special belief system, environment, or any particular spiritual background. You don't need to be in a tranquil setting or follow a certain tradition to benefit from meditation. All you need is a few minutes each day to dedicate your attention to the present moment, whether through mindful breathing, body scanning, or simply observing your thoughts without judgment. In fact, it's often the busiest, most chaotic moments of life that benefit the most from a few minutes of mindfulness. By taking time each day to reconnect with your breath and your body, you begin to reshape your experience of life, transforming your relationship with stress and anxiety. It's important to note that meditation is not about escaping from the storms of life, but learning how to find stillness within them. Life will always have its ups and downs, its challenges, and its unexpected turns. But when you cultivate the ability to sit with your mind and body in a state of calm awareness, you begin to see the world differently. You no longer need to flee from discomfort or try to control everything around you. Instead, you learn how to navigate life's turbulence with a sense of peace and presence. In conclusion, the science of meditation is clear. Its benefits are profound, not just for the mind, but for the body as well. Meditation rewires the brain, helps regulate emotions, and promotes physical health. Whether you're seeking relief from anxiety, wanting to improve your focus, or simply looking to cultivate more peace in your life, meditation provides a powerful tool for transformation. With just a few minutes of mindfulness each day, you can begin to reshape your brain, your body, and your entire experience of life, uncovering the peace that lies beneath the surface of your thoughts and emotions. The more you practice, the more you realize that stillness and calm aren't something you have to search for. They are always within you, waiting to be discovered. Practical steps toward inner calm. The true power of meditation isn't found in ancient texts or scientific studies, but in its ability to transform your everyday life. While stories of profound change can be motivating, what's most important is learning how to build your own path to peace. Meditation isn't about escaping the world, it's about navigating it with a clearer, more composed mind. Here are some fresh, straightforward exercises you can try right now to begin your journey. Mindful eating. This exercise helps you slow down and engage all your senses, shifting your focus from racing thoughts to the present moment. Choose a small piece of food, like a raisin or a single nut. First, just look at it. Notice its color, shape, and texture. Next, feel it. Roll it between your fingers. Is it smooth, rough, or soft? Bring it to your nose and smell it. What aromas do you detect? Slowly place it in your mouth without chewing. Notice the taste and texture as it rests on your tongue. Then, begin to chew very slowly, paying attention to the changes in taste and texture. Swallow it mindfully, noticing the sensation as it moves down your throat. The body scan. This practice helps you get in touch with physical sensations, which can be a powerful way to ground yourself when your mind is racing. Lie down or sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Bring your attention to your feet. Notice any sensations there: warmth, coolness, tingling. Slowly move your awareness up your body, from your feet to your ankles, then your calves, and so on. A final thought. These practices, whether through meditation, mindfulness, or other forms of mental cultivation, are not about achieving some form of unattainable perfection. In fact, the very essence of these practices lies in embracing imperfection and understanding that our minds are not meant to be controlled or erased, but rather understood and nurtured. The goal isn't to eliminate anxiety completely or to live in a state of perpetual calmness. That would be unrealistic and counterproductive. Instead, the practice is about building a healthier relationship with your mind, one where anxiety, stress, and other emotions are acknowledged, understood, and responded to with a sense of clarity and calm. This process of cultivating awareness and presence offers a profound shift in how we experience our inner world. By consistently practicing these techniques, you begin to break free from the automatic responses of fear, anxiety, and stress. Instead of being swept away by them, you learn to create space between the stimulus, whether it's a stressful situation or a challenging thought, and your reaction. This space gives you the freedom to choose a measured, calm response rather than an automatic emotional reaction. The path to inner peace is always within reach, no matter how chaotic or overwhelming life may seem. It doesn't require waiting for the perfect moment or for everything to be in order. It simply requires you to take that first step toward becoming more aware and present with yourself. In daily life, these practices can have a profound impact on how we navigate the stresses, challenges, and uncertainties that naturally arise. When you begin to sit with your thoughts and emotions, without judgment or resistance, you begin to notice patterns in how anxiety manifests. Instead of falling into the trap of allowing anxiety to take over, you develop the ability to pause and assess the situation more clearly. For example, when faced with a stressful deadline at work, rather than letting panic take hold and lead to frantic thinking, you can step back, take a few mindful breaths, and observe what's happening in your mind and body. By simply acknowledging the anxiety without becoming consumed by it, you can make a more informed decision about how to proceed, feeling empowered rather than overwhelmed. Furthermore, these practices offer clarity in moments of doubt. When anxiety creeps in, it often clouds our judgment, making even the smallest decisions feel overwhelming. The constant worry about potential outcomes can leave us paralyzed or indecisive, but with the ability to observe your thoughts through meditation or mindfulness, you start to recognize that the majority of these thoughts are simply mental noise, temporary and often exaggerated. In these moments of clarity, you can separate the facts from the emotional reactions, allowing yourself to respond with a clear, grounded mind. Instead of getting caught up in the chaos, you can act with purpose and calm, making decisions that align with your true values rather than your immediate fears. As you continue practicing, you'll begin to notice that this sense of clarity doesn't just come during formal meditation or mindful moments. It extends into everyday life. Whether you're having a difficult conversation with a loved one, facing a challenging task at work, or navigating a crowded and noisy environment, you'll find that you can return to that inner stillness, even for just a few moments, to reconnect with your calm center. This isn't about being perfectly calm all the time. It's about having access to that calm whenever you need it, even in the most chaotic situations. You begin to develop a resilience against stress and anxiety, as you no longer view them as insurmountable obstacles, but as moments that can be navigated with awareness and intention. These practices also teach you how to prioritize what truly matters. Anxiety often arises from being overly concerned with things outside of our control or getting lost in worries about the future. Mindfulness brings you back to the present moment, reminding you that this moment is all you truly have. When you practice returning to the present, you become more attuned to your thoughts, your emotions, and your needs, enabling you to make conscious choices rather than reactive ones. For instance, instead of reacting impulsively to a situation that triggers your anxiety, you can pause, breathe, and decide how best to respond in alignment with your long-term goals and well-being. These practices help reduce the mental clutter that can make everything feel overwhelming. In our fast-paced world, we often juggle many tasks, responsibilities, and obligations at once. Our minds become overloaded with thoughts of what we need to do next, what we've forgotten to do, and what's out of our control. Mindfulness and meditation teach us to bring our attention back to the present moment, one step at a time, without trying to tackle everything all at once. This helps us create a sense of order and peace amidst the external chaos. As you continue to practice these techniques, the results will begin to ripple out into all aspects of your life. You will notice that you can handle daily stresses with greater ease, stay more present with those around you, and experience a deeper sense of inner peace. The clarity you gain through these practices doesn't just help with big moments of anxiety, but also clarity. The more you practice, the more you realize that inner peace is not a distant goal, but something that resides within you, waiting to be discovered in each moment.